Roland, how did you find Carnivore?
Hi, I'm Roland. I found Carnivore through word of mouth through some friends who told me about the carnivore diet because at the time I was going through some small health problems, you could say. Well, they weren't really small, but they talked me down through a video chat. I knew them priorly, but I was in a different country and they chatted to me and they told me it's something you should get on. And I tried it and I've been doing it ever since.
Right. How long has that been?
A year and 6 months. So a year and a half I've been doing it. And right now I am still doing it. I've just added a bit of carbs to see the effects of my condition because I want to see if it affects me positively or negatively because I'm experimenting on my body, you could say.
Right. So you mentioned that your friends kind of recommended it to you because of some health issues. What were those health issues?
So I have astrocytoma grade 2. So that's benign, I believe. It's a type of tumor which is not officially recognized as a cancer, but it's almost there. It is cancerous. So it's something pretty serious, and it's located actually on my brain, on the backside of my brain. So it affects mostly my movement.
And so you've been doing Carnivore for a year and a half. So I guess you've seen some improvements in some ways.
Well, I think the improvement that I've made is mostly on physical health. So I've been going to the gym uh, pretty often, and since I only eat few foods, I don't have to worry about some negative health precautions. And I've lost tons of weight because when I first started, I was on medicine and all kinds of chemical concoctions. So it really helped me as a carnivore diet.
Interesting. So you had been on the channel before. Um, have you, since you were on last time, have you had any scans or any tests to see how things are going?
Yeah, I do MRI scans each for 3 months. And from the last time we met on a call, and from this time, it's been pretty nominal. So there's not no progression or uh, no decretion, you could say, or a smaller amount of my tumor. It's been relatively uh, similar, the same, you could say.
So have you had any feedback on that from your doctors? Like, is that
Uh,
good or just as they expected or?
I mean, that's good. The doctors didn't really give me any feedback. Usually, it's not something they're like uh, meant to do. At least when you're like pretty young, it's not something that usually affects you. But as the doctors in my area, they only reserve a spot in the MRI room and nothing else. So I can't really uh, give any information on that.
Right. So what are your plans now? You said you were testing with some carbs. What is
Yeah.
that test and
So I want to see how it will affect my health because in the next 3 months I'll have another MRI test, and I want to see if that will have any effect on my brain tumor.
so I guess you're trying to see if the progression still stays as it is
Yeah.
or something if there is a
So
change.
if it's good or bad results, I don't mind anyway. who knows, I might regret it. But I think it's good so other people know in my situation. So yeah, because I obviously have cancer, so I gotta stay vigilant, but I also gotta be like warning to others if negatively or positively affects me.
So, how have you been eating over the last year and a half? What is your daily menu like?
Eggs and bacon, 6 eggs every morning, and 300 grams of bacon with butter, obviously, and animal fat. And I'll only eat twice a day, so that's in the morning, and in the evening I'll have ground beef and eggs, and nothing else. I used to have like steaks and all kinds of fish, but ground beef is easy to cook, so I've been sticking with that.
Now that you're doing carnivore, you're not taking any medications at all?
No, the only medication or supplement that I'm taking is creatine and vitamin D because I stay inside because it's cold and it's wintertime. So I don't have the opportunity to go outside right now. I can go outside now, but beforehand I didn't have the chance because it
Right,
was
it's
so
pretty
windy.
dark during the day, right?
Yeah,
Mm.
but now it's all sunny.
Oh, nice. So, what does your family think about this?
I don't really talk about it that much, but I basically recommend people to try keto in my family. At least my grandma, she has type 2 diabetes, so I recommend her keto. And hopefully she'll follow it. I doubt, but I sent all the information and things that she should look into. And my dad, I haven't really told him, but he kind of knows because I told him I eat like 10 eggs a day, and I'm very strict on my diet. And my dad is the kind of person that eats chips, so it's going to be hard to convince him.
Like, you're doing this way of eating, it was recommended to you by your friends, it's been a year and a half, and so far no progression, but you wanna test adding some carbohydrates in,
Yeah.
like, what form is that gonna take? Like, you is it gonna be some vegetables or
The only carbohydrates that I have is rice and nothing else. So rice, ground beef, and eggs, and nothing else. So I'm not going into vegetables, pastas, or any other kind of carb. Just rice, and that's all.
I see, and so when did you start doing that?
I started doing that when I had my MRI test results. So I got them a month ago or a month and a half ago. So I saw no progression in my tumor. So I decided, hey, I should try to add in rice and see the results in 3 to 4 months.
Do you know if so with the tumor that you've got, do you know if your results is that typical? Is that atypical? Like most people, do they see progression quite quickly?
It really depends because uh, some, at least from what I heard, it can either be very slow or very fast. Some people have survived five 5 plus years, and some of them have only survived a couple of months. So it's really hard to tell you. But apparently, I have, you could say, lived longer than the average person with this condition.
Wow. Um, so okay, so I guess your plan now is to test with that the little bit
Yeah.
of carbohydrates you're adding in. You get your next MRI, and then based on the results of the MRI, that's you'll decide what the next step is as far as how you're eating.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Wow. Um, so given that, I hope you'll come back on and let us know how things are going after the next one. The next one is in, sorry, 3 months.
Yes, it should be in 3 months.
If anyone wants to reach out to you, do you have any way of getting in contact?
Yeah, my username that I'm using right now, and I'll send a link because last time I believe I spelled it wrong, and but I'll be on my Instagram and probably on my YouTube. I Because I've been experimenting on YouTube, and I want to show people like my results and keep them updated on my situation.
Yeah, fantastic. So, yeah, I'll link to those below. Um, but it's fantastic to hear that there's been no progression, and I look forward to hearing more good news going forward. Thank you,
Likewise,
thank you so much for coming back on, Roland, and letting us know how everything's going.
no problem.